Alright. Hey, Tim's already here. What's up, Timothy?
Yes. Love it. Oh man, we started in what? A little over a minute. I gotta have my makeup artist come over here.
Oh.
Touch me up a little bit. Yeah, hire one for each stream.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm already getting so good all
Thanks. What's up, Matthew? Tim. Exciting Sunday for Tim. Filling the dishwasher.
Filling the dishwasher.
Hey, Jerry.
That might be the only thing that's just as exciting as the show is filling the dishwasher.
It might be a little more exciting.
You think? You think?
The dishwasher might be more exciting.
The dishwasher.
I don't know. This show's got some good stuff tonight.
Oh, tonight's show though. Tonight's show. Hey, Jerry. Good evening, Jerry. Thank you for being here.
Good evening. Yeah. Incident.
It's about that time.
And it is. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Mack show,
We're gonna get his name, we're gonna get his handle, and we're gonna get a little picture later because
Hello, everybody. How you doing, Mac?
I'm doing great. We're doing a little tease in there, huh?
Yeah, I think I'm not usually a tease. I just usually kind of put it all out there. I've never been quite the tease, but yeah, we've been teasing some things today. Got some exciting stuff. This show has been in the making for a few weeks now, and to say I'm excited is a big understatement because I feel like tonight is like the Mack coming out party, and not like boy, I didn't say that right, did I? Tonight is a night that I think will live on forever, and we will remember this night because we're gonna see something that I think it's just gonna show like the true talent that you are.
Well, thanks, Hack. I will say though, you're really pumping me up here, but you did awesome as well. So
I thought I did until we saw how you performed. But anyway, how's the chat doing? How's everybody? Let's check in for a minute.
Oh, Katie. Hey, Katie.
Katie's
Welcome.
back. Thank you, Katie, for being here. Our few female viewers, but very pleased to have Katie here.
Yes. Great to have Katie.
Great to have her. But hey, what are you sipping on tonight, Mac? What are we starting the show off with?
I have a Russell's single barrel pick from the Russell's Renegades, and this thing is awesome.
Russell's.
This is one of those. Yeah, so it's shout out Rare Birds, yet another group. I mean a lot of different whiskey groups. Hack. I just need to admit, I don't know if there needs to be an intervention. I think it's a good thing, spread the love. So shout out David Jennings and Rare Bird, Wild Turkey Expert, and one of his groups picked this, and it's awesome.
Well, is it which is that Tyrone? Where is that hailing from?
Yeah, this one is Tyrone B.
Tyrone B. Okay. Well, I've been a fan of the Tyrone G this year, but
it might be G. I don't have the bottle in front of me. Anyway, sorry if I got that one wrong, but it's Tyrone somewhere.
It is Tyrone somewhere. All right. Well, I'm sipping on because I think I've got a new nickname that you'll hear about tonight called the Tater Hack, and I'm sipping a little Elmer Tea, Lee.
Look at that.
I just keep these around.
You pulled one from the case.
Yeah, just pull them out from the case. So have a nice little easy sipper to start. And so, what do you guys have in the chat tonight?
Yeah.
Anybody sipping with us? Let
What
us
y'all
know.
sipping on?
Let us know what you're
Tim
having.
says Tim's not sipping on anything, which respect sometimes, right? Take a little break. It's good to do that.
It is very good to do that. Can't have anything all weekend, so whatever that is, I get it. Like I definitely need to have those times to. That makes the pours all that much better when you come back.
Exactly. Tom Black. Cheers from the Bourbon Hall crew. Awesome.
Bourbon Hall.
Cheers.
Hey, welcome. Cheers. Good to have you in, Tom. Yeah. So tonight we've got some really exciting stuff planned. We're gonna obviously get into the teas. We're calling it the incident at Watch Hill proper because I just think it is that special. So we're gonna talk about that. Tom Black's having a Rittenhouse freezer door old fashioned. That sounds pretty good.
That's awesome. Those are clutch. And
Yeah.
I always think like I need to do that. I just never do it. It's great. That's a great idea.
It is great. Well, so somebody asked me one time, is like, what is the best shelfer rye to make an old fashioned? And I always go to Rittenhouse. Always.
Yeah.
It's got the perfect blend of spice. It goes good with an old fashioned.
Have you ever had a Rittenhouse pick?
Oh, never.
Some of those. I found one the other day. It was just like maybe the best. What are they? $25, $30, something like that.
Yeah, they're cheap. Yeah, so the best whiskey's not always the most expensive whiskey, right?
Yep,
so
it's true.
So we're gonna do some fun things.
Interesting
tonight.
coming from you, Hack.
as I have the rainbow back here, very interesting as I've got the rainbow behind me. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get like normal the crack. We're gonna do a little fresh crack tonight. So we're excited, and we're gonna obviously, as always, what's bothering us in the world of whiskey. Talk about the black.
Yeah,
and
gotta let that out.
Gotta get it out. But I'm excited to really get into this Watch Hill proper video. I don't want to rush through it, but I'm so excited to get to it. Should we give some people some time to join the stream? Or should we go
maybe
ahead?
so. People are kind of coming in. Maybe
filtering in.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Tim and his case of 1924, which that's definitely a flex. Tim came back from Kentucky with a case of 1924. It's a little pick.
I know. I do feel like this year they put more 1924 out in the market, though, don't you?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it around a lot more.
It's still, at least around in a lot of places, it's still not dropping in price. Although I think Tim got a really good deal on that. Awesome. Well,
Foul Rock joined us. Cheers from Bourbon Hall, another Bourbon Hall member. Thank you for joining us. And then David Bays. David was a winner of our E.H. Taylor small batch. David, I got that off in the mail. Hopefully that's made it to you. If it hadn't, let me know. But
awesome.
But congratulations again to David, and thanks for being a loyal subscriber and being here again. So awesome. Bradley, he's always here. So glad to have you in the house, Brad. Cheers. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. So the case of 1924 was $99 a bottle.
$99 a bottle.
That's crazy. They were selling it for like $150 at the distillery. I had a chance to pick another one up, and I was just like, I really like it, but anyway, awesome. $99, I'd buy that all day.
Well, so we were having this discussion. Have you spent a lot of time with the 1924 pick this year? Have you? Or the Old Forester?
Yeah, I'm about 3/4 away through I've got about a quarter left, so I've spent some time with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just that I have nights where I think it's great, and I have nights where it's almost too floral. Where it's got almost like an overpowering floral sense feel to it, and I don't know, it's weird, but how that pour changes for me. It changes. Like over. I probably have had it 6 or 7 times over the course of a couple months.
Yeah, you get floral notes on Old Forester, which you picked out so well last week with the President's Choice. And it's interesting. I get a lot of like Bananas Foster on 1924 with a bit more like dark fruit than like the 1920 or 10.
Yeah.
So I think anyway, it's interesting. Like But what that bottle does, I need to go back and do. I wonder, as bottles open, things change, or maybe that's
Things
just doing
change,
it.
yeah, or just I think your palate's changed completely and all that. I mean, it just. But I think one thing that we both enjoy a lot is we both enjoy doing blinds, right?
Yeah.
And so I can tell sometimes when friendships are being tested. And I'm not saying you were testing me, but I think you were testing me.
It was our first trip to Louisville. Still,
Well,
it's
so
the
so
deal.
from Spillway,
Together, first trip
well, from
together.
Spillway, I thought maybe I you don't in a new friendship you don't want to come on too strong, right? You want to but maybe I came on a little too strong and I needed to earn your trust.
No.
But the fact you gave me a blank sample bottle to try this week,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Like, was this a test of our friendship?
I,
What was the
I
goal
guess
here?
it was.
Yeah,
Was
okay.
It was I've seen you do some pretty impressive stuff, on the discords, on like the, streams that we'll do. And so I thought I'm gonna really kind of see if I can screw with you. So it was a little unfair as a friend. But bourbon buds, you gotta
Yeah.
push the limit.
Yeah, tell those good people what you sent me.
So sent you an unmarked ish bottle of a Knob Creek cask pick, 120 proof, and it was great, and it was a little funkier than to me. I didn't get a ton of that Jim Beam peanut,
Yeah.
that Claremont nutty note. It was more of a honey nut Cheerio to me. And I thought, and this thing throws me off in blinds, and I'm like, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah. Well, the nose on it, it didn't have that beam nutty nose. And then as I
Right.
spent a little time with it, as soon as I found it, I was like, oh, I got the
Yeah.
that's a Knob Creek.
You nailed it. I mean, what is third sip, and then you kind of were like, oh, okay, there's
Yeah.
the nut.
But see, I feel like now we can be friends because a guy that's as good at blinds as you can't just be friends with anybody. Like, right? You've got to be friends with somebody that at least has a little bit of a palate and they can like pick things out. So I just feel like our friendship this week, I think it moved up another level, and I'm just happy.
Me too. That is a prerequisite for my friends that they pick out Knob Creek picks
I thought so.
that are
I
real
thought so. I
funky.
thought it was a test.
So hey,
I thought it was a test.
you
100%.
found me out. Congrats.
Found you out. So welcome. Oh, Matt joined us from Lavar. He's from the Bruzel crew. Finally caught us live. He's
Oh.
always real active. I love talking with that guy. He always has.
That's LeVar.
Yeah.
That is LeVar. It's so crazy when you get the names of
Yeah.
the Discord. Awesome. Welcome,
Yeah.
Matt.
Welcome. Glad to have you in. So yeah, so we love doing blinds, right? So I feel like I should set this up a little bit because
Let's do it.
so the great people at Watch Hill Proper, and also Watch Hill Proper, I don't know what's the right word when they take one of your reels or whatever and they repost
Yeah, I
it,
don't
or I
Repost
forget what
sounds
it's
good to
called.
me.
So yeah, they shared it. I'll just say that. So
Yeah. I shared
the
it.
good folks from Watch Hill Proper shared our teaser video today, and hopefully they'll be viewing live. That'd be awesome. But we really want to talk about so Watch Hill Proper. If you've never been, I should start there. It's an amazing bar restaurant in Kentucky, in Louisville, and I would just tell you that I believe they have the most bottles of whiskey on site anywhere in the world. I think the number is close to 2,500 bottles of different expressions of whiskeys.
Yes, I think it maybe to be more. I could be wrong, and if someone, I think they said they may have someone on here at some point. Is it bourbon specifically? Because I know a lot of bars some bars kind of push that. We've got the
play
most
with that.
whiskey, and then it's Scotch, or then it's. I
Yeah.
think it is bourbon.
Okay,
Specifically.
but also not only do they have the most bourbon, they've got the best staff in the world.
Oh yeah.
And so I had an opportunity to go last year, and I had told Mack and the team about this, and I told them, I said, guys,
American.
when you go there, it's like Bourbon Disney World because you could just it's just fun, right? And so what you can do is the expert staff there and they have on staff that word that whiskey expert.
Well, I don't think they call it a sommelier, even though
they don't.
That is what we're saying.
Right.
I think they have different, and I think they're different sort of, like different titles and different sort of classes and things. Maybe like a master or something. Anyway, someone in the chat can probably correct us, but we can call it whatever you'd like. Experts.
But they have these guys. They work in the bar. They're whiskey experts, and basically what you do is they come over to you and you say, all right, well, I'd really like to do a blind, and they will do it different ways, right? And they'll give you a little piece of paper to chart it and all that, and they'll say, hey, if you do you want to know what they are, or do you want it to be completely blind? Do you want to give us some guidance? And so you can just tell them like, hey, this is kind of my thing. This is what I like, and they will create you a blind out of that. Or you could tell them, just go do whatever you want to do and bring it.
It's kind of what I did to Tim. Yeah, unfortunately. It's kind of unfair to Tim, but anyway.
Yeah. So to set up the video before we get into it, so my blind, I said this is what I like. I like that caramel, butterscotch, sweet oak.
Hater.
Yeah. All the way through, and I like that traditional. Like I really do. That's like when I'm picking a whiskey, a lot of times that's what I'm looking for. And my palate, that's where it lands. That's what I like. Yep. And so I told them, hey, that's what I would like. So they brought out my whiskeys, and we're going to show you that video. And then Mack, I believe you told the man you were an MGB slut. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And so many, I probably did say that exactly, actually.
So that's what we both did 2 separate blinds. And so this is what we'd like to do next. We'd like to show you guys our blind video from Watch Hill Proper. And hopefully you guys enjoy this. We may pause and make a couple of comments here, but we ready to do this, Matt?
Let's do it.
All right, it's going to start out with me, and then it'll be Matt.
Before he shows it, I am a butterscotch caramel fan. Like, I like sweet whiskeys. I like something that's going to dance with my palate. I like the sweetness, the oak. I like the carry through. So I asked my friend here at Watch Hill Proper to carry me through this, and I picked B first. This one was fantastic. I give a 9 on the Mack scale. A was my number 2 pick. I gave it a 8.7, just under the Mack scale. And then C, I gave it an 8.5, and then D was way down the line. So
what do you think is the oldest product in the line? I think the oldest product is.
That's a good question.
We're going to start with your least favorite.
I think the oldest product is actually this one. Elijah Craig 18. Thank you. That's my. Actually, video me for a minute. I just really want to know that Elijah Craig.
Yeah. So as I pause it with me having the stupidest look ever. Elijah Craig 18, right? Like it's a 90 proof 18-year-old whiskey that they ruined. They ruined it.
Oh, Elijah Craig 18, a lot of haters there. I would not consider myself a full hater. I get the criticism. I still think it's a good pour, but I think it's impressive that you picked the oldest in EC18, because sometimes, even though there is age in there, the proof getting a little lower kind of throws people off. So congrats to you, sir.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I had famously and shout out to the Houston Basement Dwellers here, my local group, famously preached against spending too much on Elijah Craig 18, and also have found that different years. I tried a 22 Elijah Craig 2022 at a local pub establishment. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. The 24 version I have, it's not good.
Okay. Gotcha.
Being my least favorite, how much I've hated on this bottle to all of you. Yes. Validation, people. Validation.
All right, so let's keep going.
Validation.
Let me shake your hand, sir. That does suck. Let's keep going. All right, number
3. Go to 3. It's right here. Okay. Oh, Bardstown. This one upsets me. This hurts my heart a little bit. Listen, chat. like you're watching. Seriously, Origin. This is a $50 bottle that was fantastic last year. I bought 2 of these, and I thought they were incredibly well done.
Great.
But this ranks 3. I'm hoping that 1 and 2 are way more expensive than this. Otherwise, my wife is going to tell me just not to buy this. So.
All right, what do we got for number 2? Which one's number 2?
I did screw up the graphics here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this is not your number 1. This is your number 2.
But I've been hunting. This is Bomb Burgers. This is 2024. This is a small batch. It's not the PFG. It's not
So you
the
gave
PFG,
this an 8.7.
But it is the Bomb Burgers 2024. I got a lot of fruit on this one. I got a lot of grape, which to me that makes sense because this reminds me of wine. So I feel like I'm nailing it so far. So my number 1 overall is B. Give it to me. Give it to me. I wrote EH because I love that caramel butterscotch flavor that carries me all the way through. Oh, the old rip. The old rip. Hey, honey, I could spend more money on whiskey because my number 1 is Van Winkle 10.
Oh, man.
And the crowd goes wild. Thank you.
I really
everyone.
thought
I appreciate you. Mack, you're next, baby.
Yeah, you did. You at least...
I think,
All right.
I think this just confirmed. Tater hack. Tater hack. Thank you.
So I've now
Tater
been branded as Tater Hack, but no,
Yeah.
At this point in the night, right, I'm thinking, okay, Mack's going next. I have just crushed my blind. And what's Mack going to do? Hey, thanks for the sub, Whiskey Cigar. Appreciate you. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, so I really felt like, I could do no wrong, right? Like I had nailed my blind. All the pressure was on you. And maybe we should see what happens next.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
And one other thing I will say too is picking Old Rip 10 is the most expensive bottle for me. Does validate my whiskey buying purchases because the number of times my wife has tried to get me to do a blind and she tries to slip really cheap ones in there and try to say, see.
So, yeah, no, it's impressive. I think also the fact, even though 3rd place was the Bardstown Weeder, it's still at a high score, and you still, that's a great bottle.
It's a great
and
bottle.
to be with those other bottles is impressive at that price point.
Yeah, it tells you how much value is in that bottle, and it is a very good buy, absolutely very good buy. And I just would say too that out of the Van Winkles that I've had through 20 and pours, that 10 is still my favorite. It is my favorite.
Yeah.
Just in terms of where it's at, proof point and
I agree.
flavor profile. It's just I think 10 is the perfect year. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Before we, maybe just to frame this one again.
Yeah.
So
Let's frame it.
You're blind. This one, my love of MGP. This was a MGP blind where 1 was not MGP, and I had to sort of figure that out or whatever, right? Just rank them, and you'll. Anything else there, Hack? I don't know. I think maybe we just watch it.
Maybe just watch it. I think we even explained it a little bit in here, so let's just watch it.
Okay, 95.5.
Say that.
Okay.
All right. I don't give this much.
Oh, it's all right.
You got 1 rye on the board. You got 2 bourbons on the board.
All right, high rye, 36.
He's not telling you.
2 bourbons on the board.
All right.
And you've got 1 that doesn't qualify as either.
Oh, wow. I can't wait. So
Can
what did
he
you
break
go?
his EGP edition?
Also, I owe you some water because there's a lot of proof on the board.
Oh, no.
Bring it on.
I love it. So I think the challenge to you
Sorry for the crappy
was
stuff on camera and video.
Which one's not MGP?
Which
Forgive
one is
you.
not MGP?
Oh gosh, this.
Well, that's gonna be tough. But you know what? I'm here for this, and I can help us all through this. That's gonna be pretty tough. Because MGP is wonderful, great whiskey. All right. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
do
show
not work
how
for
great
them.
my palate is, and I'm gonna pick. And not only that, I'm gonna pick mash bills.
Calling your shot.
Yes.
On the
All
shot,
right.
baby.
So number 1, we're gonna start here. This is a 95.5 MGP mash bill with a rye, and it's delicious. I love it. 108 proof. What do you got?
Number 1 was a 95.5 MGP rye. We are at 115.2.
It's
The
Fiddler,
reason
man.
why you're
a
off
pin
is
10.
it was toasted. It was
Or sport.
toasted.
Still, I mean, that's pretty damn close, dude. I mean,
Shout out,
that's
Ed.
fantastic, man.
So right here, you nailed the very first one out of the box, right? And it's Fiddler Toasted, which I think you've had some feelings about Fiddler Toasted being a Russell 15 killer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I wasn't me that did that in the blind. That was another good friend of ours. But the Fiddler Toasted can really perform. So it's a great bottle.
All right.
Fiddler toasted.
I'm sorry, but that is
match
fantastic,
two.
dude.
Thank you.
Unbelievable whiskey.
And Fiddler Toasted is so good. And you're right.
Love
I've got this
ASW.
on my bar, and it's great.
Some
All
solid
right.
ASW bottles out there.
Whiskey 2. All right.
Here we go.
So I love this. This almost has that classic Kentucky, that like
Except none of them
caramel
are
pork.
Kentucky.
So that's what but at the same time, I think it's MGP. I think it's just that 21% mash bill with the rye.
Which one's not MGP?
So I'm gonna. I don't. This one. Let's go. This one's not MGP. It's traditional Kentucky, and I'm gonna say this is Four Roses.
Ridiculous, but
God, please.
Yeah, I wish you had just done that because it is 21% rye MGP.
It's 21% rye. All right.
so
I said it was 112.
120.
Oh well, that's a great bottle.
Okay.
All right, so I was right about that not being MGP. Okay. All right, let's keep rolling, baby.
Let's go, Mac. Let's go.
Okay, number 3.
do we need to
Point of clarification, right? You got the mash bill.
Yeah.
You nailed the mash bill. And originally you said that this one was not MGP, and then you came back
Right.
when he kind of put pressure
Yeah.
on you. Said this one.
yeah. So I technically, which OKI is MGP. I technically, anyway, I got the mash bill.
You got the mash bill. But 2 for 2. You
It's a
got to be
tough
feeling
one.
2 for 2.
I'll take
already.
the mash bill. Yeah.
1 for 1. You're pretty off on that one.
I'm trying over here. I'm trying. It's been a long day.
Had a couple to drink,
All
y'all.
right. Don't hate me yet. Here we go.
It's embarrassing to
This
watch.
this is that classic, my favorite MGP mash bill, 36% rye, and I'm clocking this at like 118, and I love this. What NDP is this? Let's see it.
This is 36% rye.
Oh! Oh, my God.
5.5 proof.
Okay.
Those are great
Still in the
good.
great state of Kentucky.
Oh, it's
Okay,
Single
so
barrel picked by
so I
Bourbon Loving.
it's a
got
single bill.
this was the Kentucky.
but I was right on the mash bill.
Yeah, he was.
And then,
annoying.
oh God, I don't want to break this. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
3 for 3, buddy. Like
I just switched up the Kentucky and then
at this moment, everyone at the
that-
table was like in shock. Like people were like, "Okay, this man knows his MGP. Like he knows his MGP. Like
yeah.
the MGP slut thing. Like it's a real thing at this point."
It is real.
Number 4
really quick
is
though,
gonna
Hack,
be a little
before
bit of
you-
a read.
Yeah.
Pause this. So people are going off in the chat about the Russell 15 killer. We're joking. It's
a
not a
joke.
Russell
It's a
15
joke.
killer for Fiddler. We love ASW, but it's not. All right.
Yeah. Totally a joke. Sorry, I should have clarified that. We have some inside jokes I probably should clarify.
Yeah.
All right.
I love this one too. This is such a great flight. Everyone needs to come to Watch Hill proper. They got the
What am I
experts
doing?
here. All
Give him a
right.
shout. You're propping.
Subscribe to Hack and Mack.
Subscribe to us.
I love this one. I feel like this is the American Light Whiskey from MGP 99.1. I think this is just under hazmat, 130 proof. I love this one. What do we got?
I don't know that it's all 99.1, but there's a hell of a lot of 99.1 in this batch. It's Old Carter, the brand new American first release that's exclusively from Mark.
Oh, wow.
130
I've not-
134.2.
Oh,
This
wow.
guy
So it's-
Oh,
nailed
just under
this
half.
light. Big picture wise, he nailed it.
Nicely done, Matt. Nicely done, Matt.
All right, I'll see you guys.
So yeah, just stands a moment. Go out.
Hey man, that was really great.
So right here, 4 for 4, buddy, on mash bills, basically. Like, I gotta
Yeah,
just say, like, that's incredible, Mac. That's really incredible. Like, props, buddy.
Well, thank you. I just, because there will be some critiques here, and we should acknowledge it. Missed the Kentucky MGP, kind of switched them up with some pressure. I think the old Carter was a blend there, but I got, anyway, I'm proud of this.
Yeah.
I am proud.
I would tell you too. So I ended up, because I was really intrigued by that old Carter, I ended up getting a pour of that, and that was it was
solid.
It was maybe my favorite pour of the night. It was so, I mean, other than the old rip, but like it was really, really good. The old Carter, like I don't think it's a light whiskey.
Yeah.
I think it's an American whiskey. God,
Yeah.
it's done really,
So-
really well. I'm on the hunt for one of those for sure.
Yeah. So no, I will say this was like one of those moments where, and props to Watch Hill and the staff there. And I mean, a lot of places you'll go, they'll just put a sheet down. They'll be like, good job. But they're like in it with you. He was like cheering me. He was like, announcing it.
Yeah.
It made me feel really
Well,
special as a customer. And yeah.
They were so impressed. They came by the table several times, and we've got a little more of this clip here, Mac, to show you.
Palate. Hey,
Awesome stuff, man. Thank you.
might know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it won't feel as good, but let's just do it just in
Tell me
case.
your name again. Mark? Mack.
Of the Hack and Mack show, by the
We're
way.
going to get his name, we're going to get his handle, and we're going to get a little picture later, because he just nailed a blind flight about as good as we've ever seen.
That was the moment that made me feel.
The Nashville thing was damn impressive.
Yeah. So about as good as they've ever seen, Mac. This is Watch Hill proper. I think they have a few people that have probably done blinds there.
Yes, and I'm sure there's a lot out there with 10 million times better palates than me, but I will take that compliment all day. from him.
Yeah. So shout out again to Watch Hill proper. They are awesome. If you're ever in the Kentucky area, you're going there to do some distillery tours. You're going to spend some time in Louisville. Watch Hill proper has to be on the list. Like you have to go there. The food is incredible. I mean, amazing. And the staff just ask them to do the blind. It's so much fun. And you can give them direction. And it's just, like you do blinds at home, and do them out with your friends at Watch Hill proper. Probably one of the most fun experiences in the whiskey community that I can think of. Like, it's just that much fun.
Yeah, when you go up with it's a great place to go with your buddies, or if you're on a barrel pit, like that kind of thing. Like, it's a great group place too, and they killed it. And anyway, of everything that we asked, they delivered times 10. So that was
10,
awesome.
Yeah.
What a great.
And just one more prop for them is Watch Hill proper has their whiskey festival coming up, I think in June. So if you, I don't know the exact date, but if you're in the area, you can get there. In August, Tim says. It's in August. Okay, thanks,
August.
Tim. Yeah, so
Gotta go.
I know. I may find a way to do this.
I know.
I may find a way to get to that festival. So, but anyway, thank you again to Watch Hill proper for having us, for all the pours, and cannot think of a cooler place to go when you're in Louisville, guys.
And one of the best nights of my life, period. Where do I go? I think Matt was like, now that you've peaked, what's next? Great question.
Now that you've peaked,
it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. Where do you go from here? But it's time for a segment that we like to call the crack. And it isn't when I accidentally bend over grabbing something from the bottom of the floor there, but it's actually we're going to crack something new. And we've got some loose rules on this, right? It doesn't have to be a completely fresh crack every time. But you want to start off? You want me to start off on what I'm having?
Why don't you start off, Hack?
You want me to start off? Okay, all right. So I just cracked this last night, and I had a little bit of trouble with the wax. It may have been that I had a few pours that day, but I had to get some tools. But as you can see, I messed up the wax. But had one pour of this last night, and this is, and I'll switch up the look view here. This is the Rare Character Batch 2 from 2025, just released. This one is rumored to have 15 and a half year Kentucky bourbon, as well as 5.5 year Indiana bourbon. And so what they say is they say that the sweetness and the spiciness that they're really trying to blend that with the oak that they get from those Indiana barrels that aren't aged as long. But I'm going to go ahead and crack this one and give myself a pour. If you want to talk about the one you're having.
Yep. Yeah. So right here, this is the new Maker's wheat whiskey release, Star Hill Farms, and I found this actually. Spent some time in South Florida, and I found this in a Total Wine randomly of all places. I can't believe it's made it here. I think it's still not really fully out. Usually I think Florida's kind of last place where things come, but yeah, I picked it up. It is 51% soft red winter wheat, 27% malted soft red winter wheat, 22% malted barley. We're at 114.7 proof. This is like the first new Maker's release that's like not stave, not the stave finished stuff, and not their cellar proof, the cellar stuff, which I love the cellar, but that's my fresh crack tonight.
So first of all, I want to ask you about this because I think you know mash bills a lot better than I do, obviously from the video you just watched. But,
clearly, no. Now I'm gonna, I don't.
But so this one, the first ever American wheat whiskey. So, what does it mean to be a wheat whiskey?
Yeah. Well, it's their first ever American wheat whiskey.
Maker's Mark from Maker's Mark.
Yeah, Maker's. Yeah. So yeah, it just means that we don't have the corn in the mash bill that makes it the bourbon, right? So this is all made. Well, this is made with mostly wheat, and then you've got the malted barley. So there's no corn in here. So it's technically a whiskey, wheat whiskey. It's cool.
Gotcha. And I think there's a really cool sustainable story with that one, right? But
yeah, and I think they grew most of this on property, and if not, like, or locally from right around them. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. What did that one retail? Did you say that earlier, Mac? And I missed it when I was pouring.
So I paid like $150 for this at which is a little higher than what's going to be in their whiskey dropper at the store, which I think they said $110. So I paid a little bit for it. Yeah, $150. So
Cheers. Well, let's get into it. Let's see what you get on that. Yeah. So it's got a great color on it. My God.
Telling you, man. Yeah. You want me to go for mine, Mack?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and give your notes. While you're giving your notes, I was just looking up. I guess this one uses two mash bills. One is a 70% soft red winter, and then 30% malted barley on one of the mash bills, and the other one is 100% malted soft red winter wheat.
Oh, okay. Thanks for Thanks for pulling that out.
I can just read a website. Believe me, I don't pretend to have any true knowledge here. But
so I had some low expectations for this, and I was kind of like, I have a love-hate with Makers where they're like my first fancy bottle. When you're getting into it, and I had the wax on it, and I thought it was fancy, the regular Makers, and then started to get a little more into bourbon. Anyway, we don't have to go through all of this, but not super impressed with a lot of the stuff. It is what it is. It's a go-to in bars if there's nothing else there. But it still had a special place in my heart. And then I tried the cellar release in 23 and it blew me away. I was like, I need to pay attention to some of this stuff that they're doing. The heart release I thought was good. But I was like, let's see what they do. And I already drank this down a little bit, but this nose is incredible. It's like caramel sauce and then just like stewed red fruits, and it is. I was like, when I cracked this the first time and poured it, I was stunned.
Yeah.
to just be honest.
Yeah, that Maker nose, it's not very pungent. It's not very strong. It's just more pleasing usually. But I don't know on this one.
If you're not going to recognize it because it's so different from any Maker's product. And anyway, so I'm trying not to get too hyped about this. As you can tell, I'm getting a little excited, but I was just really impressed. And then the nose matches the palate here. That 114 proof is awesome. The mouthfeel is the thing I love, and you get that combo of like caramels, the caramel sauce on like a strawberries on like a sundae. It's
Those are
it's a
some notes, my
great
friend. Those are
wheat
some notes. That sounds
whiskey.
pretty damn good.
So if you find this, I mean, I'm not sad I paid 150. I'll just say that. So that's my fresh crack tonight hack, and I'm digging this Star Hill Farms. So
It's it sounds great, Mac, and I think I'll put it on the list. I had cooled off on Maker's Mark a little bit because I landed a cellar age a couple months ago, and I got it at an airport, like at the 700 milliliter international one, and I was not like, I think I liked the heart release better.
wow, I've heard that from
Yeah,
Is it 24 or 23?
Yeah, the 24.
24. Yeah.
Yeah, but some people said the 23 was better, and I should, but I didn't think that the cellar age completely blew me away for the money, and so I kind of cooled off on Maker's Mark products, but I think this one's going to bring me back.
It's awesome. Well, if you find it, I mean, grab it in that 100-ish to 125. I think you won't be disappointed.
So I'm getting into this rare character, right? And on the nose, I get that very familiar dusty rickhouse nose that you get on an older whiskey, but at the same time, there's something else going on with it that is kind of got this underlying sweetness, but it's not like the caramel butterscotch sweetness that I normally like. It's more it's more of that I would say syrup type. I would probably say like a simple syrup type sweetness, maybe a little bit of burnt sugar. I think I made up some dumb note last night when I was tasting it that it reminds me a little bit of that when you toast a marshmallow and you get a little bit of that burnt on the outside of the marshmallow. Yeah, it's kind of got that going on. And then on the palate, let me take another shot here. Yeah, it's got that sweet cinnamon red hot, like really that kind of hits you. And it definitely feels to me, and I can't prove this, I can't validate this, but it feels like there's some older wild turkey in here. It reminds me of a Russell 13 pour. It reminds me a little bit of a Rickhouse pour. I really think, I can't prove it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got some off-profile turkey barrels that were a little too old for something they were trying to do. And, that Pablo Ma, who does a lot of he made a name for himself in the restaurant industry. And then the rare character is really based upon Pablo's expertise in picking great barrels. Like that's how rare character has become rare character. So there's a lot of skepticism. Can rare character continue to elevate as demand increases? Because there's only so many amazing single barrels that are up for sale, right? So there's a lot of competition. Yeah. There's a lot of competition.
There's a lot of competition there.
Yeah, but the finish is super, super mouth coating on this, and it just like that cinnamon red hot, like burnt sugar. That's what I get on this.
Awesome. So Sideshow just called us nerds and he left. Which is hurting my feelings a little bit.
It's actually accurate. It's actually accurate.
It is very accurate. We'd love for you to stay, but understand we are nerds. So
we get it.
You can leave if you'd like, but we'd love for you to stay.
Yeah, he had asked where Tom Black is. Where's Tom?
I know.
Black?
I guess Tom Black. I think Tom Black was in here at one point. I don't know Tom. You sound like a cool guy, but
he's in the land. If he's in the land of Fiddler, he's in Georgia. But that's where he's at. So maybe I should have answered the chat a little faster. But I was into my tasting notes here. But
I know. Yeah, sorry to interrupt that. But you like the finish on it.
I do.
You're digging it.
I do. Yeah, and I it's too early for me to call. Like I think on these rare character, you have to get past that neck pour a little bit and come back before you give it a true like rating. But I think wild turkey fans, especially older aged wild turkey fans, would really like this. That's what I think. And I like wild turkey. I'm not like you're a huge wild turkey fan. Like I'm not that low. Like yeah.
and I have this bottle, but I got it I think in January, cracked it, liked it, and then kind of put it back on the shelf. And I was like, I really like this, and I need to go back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is getting a lot of attention right now. I think it's hard to. I don't think you can find this anymore. If you can, it's secondary price or something. I don't know if any. In the chat, if you've had this, let me know what you think. I really like my pour. I need to go back to it.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Black is here.
Oh, cool.
And he's apologizing for a sideshow and working on our straining order.
No need.
Awesome.
No need.
All are welcome.
No need. If we ever really get haters, I think that's when we know we've made it. Like if we ever got a real hater, like I know. Like that means like people care enough that we're saying something that they actually have a reason to hate us. But
that's right.
Yeah, that's what we have for the crack. Would you say for you, you're gonna spend a little more time with it? But is that going to be in some of your top favorites that you've had recently?
You can see I've spent some time with this, and I've had this for 72 hours.
Okay, all right, all right.
I really like this bottle, and it is like inching into that top 10 so far this year. I keep trying to fight it, but it's one of those bottles where it was surprising, and it's also very drinkable, right? Okay. So I really like it.
Cool.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going to spend more time on this, but I'm going to have some of my group in the Basement Dwellers. I've got some guys in there that are huge turkey fans, and I want them to try this, and I want them to tell me like what are their thoughts. Like I think that's one thing. It's like I've mentioned before is we're all looking for a little bit of validation on certain things of like, okay, I think that this is really good, but I'd like someone I trust to tell me, do they have the same opinion? Do they not? And so I'm going to spend a little time with it and see how it opens up, and then we'll go from there. But I'm very fortunate to have this. I haven't tried the batch 1 yet, which I also have. So maybe I'll try that one next to it.
Nice. Yeah. I
Tim's
really like that. I look forward to going back.
Tim's asking me if I've had the old Rick sample. I have not yet, but I promised to get to that one, Tim. He sent me an old Rick.
Next week.
Yeah, next week for sure.
Because I think, I don't know if I have the same old Rick, but it's great. And then also we will be talking a little bit too towards the end, but folks in the chat, start thinking about, or if you already have opinions, what have you really liked so far? We're already in June, which is crazy. Like we're halfway through the year. If you guys have stuff that you've cracked that you think needs to be in there, I know a lot of those LEs have not released yet. We're still waiting on some bangers, but love to hear what the chat thinks about some of their favorite pours this year. Yeah,
we're going to hop over and we're going to do the FLAC. We'll get through that. And at the very end, guys, we're going to spend a little bit of time. If you stay with us to the end, we're going to spend some time talking about whatever some of our top pours we've had this year. So hopefully you can think of some. You let us know. Let us know if we're wrong. Let us know if we're right.
Please.
Yeah, please do. So let's get to a segment we like to call the FLAC. So what's up for this week on the FLAC, Mac?
So it's award season. At least I think it's award season. It seems to be award season. I don't know if it's like middle of like the beginning of award season. This is the FLAC. That first of all, I think it's award season, but I don't know it's award season. Whose award season is it? Who is giving the awards? What are the awards? I see a lot of articles coming out, and I'm confused. Yeah. So I don't know. How do you like? Do you have a good grasp on the awards and how that all works?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm not the only one.
Okay. No, and I think sometimes. Well, I mean, and look, I mean, TJ Bruzel says this a lot, right? Like they don't really care about awards, really. And I have the same opinion, but also I would tell you that it does bring some attention to the idea that like, when I was early in my journey, when I was first starting out, I'll never forget this. I was traveling through Nashville, and there was a billboard type advertisement thing for Uncle Ernest. And maybe some people out there, huge Uncle Ernest lovers, whatever, but it had like 7 years in a row, whatever this award was that Uncle Ernest had won. So I was like, I'm going to go through the gift shop and take that one home on the plane with me. It was good whiskey. It was fine whiskey.
Yep.
Why it won 7 awards, I don't know. But it had won 7 awards. And so a lot of the different apps and a lot of different websites and all that, they really try to hang their medals and say, this is how many. And so I don't need that to buy whiskey anymore. But there was a point in my whiskey journey where I think those awards caught my eye. I do.
Yeah. And I think your Uncle Nearest maybe is what you mean from Tennessee. Uncle Nearest. Yeah. It's okay. I think I've heard people call it that too. So, but they now, just so you know, they've got some great stuff, some great single barrels. But I get you. Like, it is confusing, and when you're first starting out, it's really hard to know. There's so many things on the shelf. Yeah, if you see that it's got an award and you don't know much about it, you're gonna grab it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I think the flack for me is, there are so many awards, who's awarding it, and then double platinum, double gold, double plat. Anyway, we can kind of go through some of this. I think like I'm, obviously very skeptical. At the same time, I think it could also afford some smaller bourbons, whiskeys, as well. A way to get in there against some of the big boys and get some attention. So.
Yeah. So let's take a look and see. So I think the San Francisco World Spirits is probably one of the better, well-known competitions out there. So this is an article. It looks like it was from May 20th, and so it's the world's largest bourbon competition. So let's just take a look and see who some winners were here. In the straight bourbon category, you had Old Granddad 16, the World Whiskey Society, the Doc Holliday 15 year. You had Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C924, which I've had, and it's not.
It didn't blow me away either.
No, Eagle Rare 17. Okay. Ray's Kentucky Straight Bourbon. I've not heard of Ray's Kentucky. If somebody knows something about Ray's, let me know.
That's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
Which is also interesting. It's in there, but yes.
How did they? Yeah, okay. Well, they got samples there. So that's your straight bourbon category. Your small batch, which is up to 5 years. We'll just scroll through that pretty quick. I don't think there's anything there.
Oh, the Kings. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Kings County. I have a bunch of samples of that. From
I've heard some great things about Kings County in the chat. If you've had Kings County, let me know. It's getting a lot of attention.
You know what? I do. I have that. I have the 90 proof version in there, and it's.
Do you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. 1792. I'm not a big fan of. Small batch bourbon, 6 to 10 years. Oh, there's my rare character batch too.
Wait, is that a Fiddler? Is that
there?
A
It
Fiddler?
is the Fiddler Encore bourbon.
Love it.
Kentucky Senator John Brown. What's this one here, Mac? The Beautiful and the Damned Last Lion bourbon.
I have no clue. I have not heard of that nor seen it. If anyone in the chat has, let us know.
Yeah. 11 years and older. There's your OKI. Redemption, 18 years.
Okay. That one, is that the wheat? Is that oh no, it's a bourbon. That one is getting a lot of attention, and it's very expensive.
Bottle yeah. Widow Jane Lucky 13. Widow Jane Lucky 13 is one of my favorite all time.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had it.
I had a chance. I remember buying those back when they were $80 a bottle. Now they're up around 120. But Widow Jane Lucky 13 is a very good older age, and not totally break the bank. Single barrel bourbons. There's my Garrison Brothers.
Do I see a Texas whiskey in there?
You do.
Is that allowed?
The little Garrison Brothers. They're really starting to do some cool things with with the heat. They're starting to figure it out. They really are. But it's still got that leather. It's a lot different than Still Austin.
You'll have to, at some point in the future, Hack, send me some sampler, tell me what bottles, and kind of walk me through Garrison.
You got it.
I need to learn.
Matt that you met, he is a huge fan. I mean, it's like anything with Garrison, like anything with a distillery. when you visit that distillery, you become kind of a super fan because you just get ingrained into the culture. And Garrison does something really cool where they have volunteer bottling days where you go and actually, I shouldn't say this, it's not days, it's all the time. So all of their bottling is run 100% by people that come there and volunteer. And for volunteering, they give you a little whiskey as you're doing it, but it's a really cool way to really get the community into, and free labor. Yeah.
And kind of like how the Bills, like when it snows, they get like fans to like do all the like snow, the snow shoveling.
Yeah.
Like, way to go.
Well,
way to go, Bills.
If we don't have snow here, so maybe it is kind of the same concept, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
here's
we
that.
go.
Oh, there's that. A Buckner's 15.
Buckner's.
That's on my list.
This is tough. So single barrel, which we might get into here in a second. Picking a single barrel as your favorite of the year is only going to give you. You're only going to get crap for that because people aren't going to be able to buy it unless they have it. But at the same time, that has to be included because some of these single barrels, good stuff.
That is really. I mean,
I see the chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I see the chat too. We're going to come back to what the chat's saying about their favorites when we get to the next. Yeah,
absolutely.
You're not being ignored, chat.
Here's single barrel finished bourbons. I feel like the fact that this doesn't have a good times on it is a atrocity. Tim would probably agree.
I know.
Weeded bourbons. Well, CYPB. Come on.
Hey. You know what happened at your spillway event? Hack, number 1 overall, CYPB.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, Brad. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Brad.
Yeah, so that's this list. Here's another one. This is another list, just more awards, but this happens to be the best double gold bourbons.
Yeah, so this is in the author here. Or can you see? I can't really see it from here. Hack. Yeah. What's the author's name? I really like his stuff.
Frank Dobbins.
What's his name? Yeah, Frank Dobbins is awesome. If you scroll, Hack, maybe like to the very bottom so we can see like maybe the first number one that he thinks, unless you had a different idea here, but I think so he like I really like his writing. He's got got great takes, but this Kings County
barrel strength. I think I've got that sample in there. I need to go dig around. I think someone gave that to me at Spillway. Oh, Jerry, my CYPB. Number 2, George T. Stagg. I've got that bottle.
Oh, yeah. Of course you do.
Of course I do. Frank August. This is one of the weeded reserve. This one's intrigued me. I see it out. I just can't make myself.
Do you? Okay. I see Frank August stuff around, and it's always around that $100 price tag. I'm sure it's good, but it's just one of those, right? That there's with $100. What can you do, right? And you can buy a lot of things, and I just haven't jumped into the Frank August stuff yet. If anyone has, let me know. Hack, have you had any?
I haven't, and I've seen several of these bottles over at Liquor Zone. Pete's got them. He's got like 4 or 5 different versions of these. But they seem to be setting. They seem to be not moving. But hey, they're getting rated really, really high. I think it's like anything, It takes the hype train a little while, right? For people to kind of catch on to something, and then once the hype train kind of catches, then it's like, oh wow, then this is something I'm really interested in because people start talking about it. But if you get enough, in the whiskey influencer community, right? Too, it's like once people start saying like, hey, I'm thinking of like Whiskier with that Jefferson's cask strength, the one from 2025, right? I went out and bought that bottle. Like I would not have ever bought that bottle. I haven't cracked it yet, but I went out and bought that bottle because he's saying that's possibly his whiskey of the year. So that's how much influence, certain folks can have on your purchasing decisions.
Maybe like folks that really know expensive tater whiskey in a blind, and folks that know MGP mash bills really well.
Maybe folks like that could influence people. maybe, but this is the flack. I don't know, guys. You tell me. Like, we think there's too many awards. And can't keep up with them all. It has its place, but that's our flack.
That's the flack.
Should we get to our favorites for the year?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I know
Well,
that
you know
the
what
chat's
though?
going off.
Before, I think you've got one more
Oh,
flat.
yeah.
We need to get to.
This okay, and when I want to be mindful here of talking about a flop of the year, because people brands, they put their heart and soul into whiskey, and it may just not be for me, right? It doesn't mean it's bad, but this one was a real flop for me. That being said, 13th Colony Maplewood Spiral. I don't even know why I had that sort of expectation for it, because I'm not really a spiral kind of guy.
Not a spiral guy.
I don't know what that actually means either, but I think this one I was able to get in the lottery, so I think I only paid $65. But I've seen this thing in like lotteries, and it's like $200.
Yeah.
Cracked this a couple months ago. Poured it. It was just nothing notable. It tasted young and sort of forced. I think it's MGP, which I love MGP.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about MGP is when people do really good things with it, or they sort of they know the right barrels. So anyway, I this one was a sort of a letdown for me. I don't know if you, and I think Hack, you may have it.
Yeah, and I didn't love it. I didn't love it. But I also got it luckily at MSRP on a specs whim. Got it, and I understood, and I don't know that everybody understands this, but there are maple finishes and then there's maple spirals. And
oh right,
yeah. So when you're using a maple spiral, you don't really expect as much of that heavy maple flavor. So I didn't really expect that, but I did expect it to have a little more impact, because it just doesn't really give you that maple vibe, and that's what the whole thing they're kind of selling. So wasn't crazy about that one either. It didn't do a lot in terms of up and down on the palate and the different flavors, but I would say I've not heard a lot of people that are crazy about that bottle, and probably of the releases this year, I probably would agree with you. That's probably the one that I would say is probably one of the more disappointing releases this year so far.
At least at MSRP, it's not like 150. I think they, the one thing I will say, and 13th Colony does some awesome stuff. So this is not a knock to them. This might, I think, be a future shelfer, and I think for around the $60, $50 price point, I get it. It's not for me.
So I don't have a flop of the year.
Oh,
I have a flop of my all-time bourbon journey that I'd like to share.
Oh,
and this is. I don't want to be overly negative, because there's some people that probably like this, but also I just feel it's important to help people along in their whiskey journey where I could have gotten help. And as you can see behind me, I've got the Weller Rainbow there for a reason tonight, because there's a bottle up here, guys. If there's any way I could convince you not to chase it just to fill your rainbow, it's going to be this one right here, guys. And that is the Weller Single Barrel.
Whoa.
That bottle is actually running for as much as like 400 on secondary at times. And I just, for a single barrel expression, all of them are going to be a little bit different. I get that. But it's not as interesting as Foolproof. It's not as good as 107. I would even say Weller 12 at a 90 proof is a better balanced whiskey. Like, I just think Weller is not set up to do single barrels, and they, because of their blend, their batches, their whiskey doesn't become special until they batch it all together. But that one right there paid probably double MSRP, somewhere like that. So not quite full secondary, but definitely one of the most disappointing purchases for me in my whiskey journey is Weller Single Barrel.
Wow. I've not had this one. I have heard some similar takes, but that's quite the take. Have you put it in blinds?
I have, and it never does well. Now, I haven't put it in blinds I've only put it in Weller blinds, like to try to figure out which Weller you like the most. But maybe that's a good idea to throw it into some blinds with some other,
It's also a single barrel too, right? Which that gets tricky, but anyway.
It does. But we've been negative enough. Those are our flops for the year. Let's talk about the things we're really, really excited about that we've tried this year. You want to do that?
Let's do that. Let's do it.
Let's get over there and let's talk about those.
While you're doing that, Jerry, I gave him my 13th colony. I'm glad a lot of people love it. I think it's spillway. We were talking about it, and I was talking about it. So hey, you know what? I'm glad people like it. That's awesome, Jerry. I'm glad people are really liking it, and hopefully you're liking it. I just had some higher expectations. So hey, there you go. That's the great thing about whiskey, right?
It's a great thing about whiskey. Well, so do you want to start on your list, or do you want me to start on my list?
Yeah, I think. Let me start.
Okay.
So far, and I think we're talking, there's still a lot to come out this year. And I think also Hack, we were talking a little bit about how do we frame this? Is this just, do we put single barrels? Are these things that came out just this calendar year? Are these, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. I think for me, I just kind of went for what I've had this year. And for the most part, I think a lot of it's this year, but it could be the end of last year. My top 5, and this is in no order because I want us later, Hack, to blind these.
Okay.
Do a true thing
that'd be
for
really
what
cool.
we.
So we'll blind our favorites from the year on stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
So, and one of my first ones that I thought of was the Raven. This is takes Jay West stuff. The Raven. It's an awesome blend. Love this bottle. If you have this bottle, I don't think you can get it now. And if people are selling it on secondary, that's bad because you shouldn't do that with those bottles. It's a
they
cool
come and
community.
find you on those Ravens too. Like
I know, man. Yeah. And so anyway, it's a great bottle. Anyway, so that's one. So Hack, let's go back and forth. What do you think? And then we'll talk, and maybe
I'll start
from the chat too.
Yeah, so I'll try to stick to my top 5. I've got them back here actually, and it's one that we tried here live on stream, and that's Found North Batch 18. I talk about me liking that caramel Batch 18 Found North.
Yeah.
Yeah. People talk about my palate being that caramel butterscotch, like sweet, like it just is such a
Batch 11.
Sorry, Batch 11. Batch 11.
It's 18 years, though, and I get those also confused.
I looked at it. Yeah, Batch
Such
11.
a good pour.
Found North Batch 11 is so good. Like I would tell you that in terms of just being really balanced and just for the proof, it drinks so under the proof. And it was my first version of Found North. I'm excited to try some of the other expressions now. But yeah, I've got that one real high.
Yeah, that one's also it's at least in my top 10, if not top 5. I think here in the chat, Bradley said Victor's Barrel Strength Rye. Yes, I'm with you. Those this year, the Michter's Barrel Strength Rye, as if they don't have a year where it's good. Yeah. Blown away with my Michter's Barrel Strength Rye this year. I'm with you, Brad.
Yeah. I would tell you another one for me, which I'm going to stick on that sweet note, is Kentucky Nectar. This happens to be the second ever single barrel release through the Bruzel Club. And that Kentucky Nectar, I had it for the first time in December at Watch Hill Proper and was on a journey to find that thing. And then once I saw that it was available through our club, I thought, oh, thank you, God. This last week, they released Batch 3 and also Founders Batch 1, which is a special distillery pick. I got both of those, got online right when those dropped, so those are coming. So I'll get to try those hopefully soon. Actually, they just came Friday. But love what they're doing down at Old Commonwealth. I'm pretty sure that it's a Wilderness Trail mash bill. And they're just doing some different things to it. But that's probably where they're sourcing right now. And I hear that Julian Van Winkle is consulting with Old Commonwealth on a lot of the things. Yeah, a lot of the things that they're doing, because that distillery is being built on those old original grounds.
Mhm.
And I think they're getting close to being open for tours, or they may be open. I'm not sure, but yeah, Old Commonwealth Kentucky Nectar, huge fan. That one is also in my top 5 for the year. What else you got, Matt?
So I love Detling Rye, which was released at Spillway. A lot of comments, obviously, on the price of that bad boy, which was $250. At the same time, it for me and for what he does and how special I think that bottle is, yes, that's expensive. That's like top of what I would, pay for anything really, right? Like that's right around the level of diminishing returns for me when it comes to whiskey prices. But that Detling Rye is everything I wanted it to be, which is that sweet tobacco, sort of dark chocolate, that rice, and with the rice spice in there with that Detling palate that you get from his bourbon, it just steps it up a notch, and as well as that mouthfeel, which I love, that like oily viscosity.
Yeah.
So I love that bottle.
Yeah. I passed on that one, and I'm still kicking myself for not grabbing that one when we were at Spillway, because there were some left at the end. I think that 250 price point had scared some people off a little bit, but and everyone that's got it, as it's opened up and they've continued to come back to it that I kind of have talked to, they all are singing the praises of the Detling Rye. That it's amazing. Let's see. The other thing, the next one I'll throw at you is something that I don't know if this is, again, maybe fair, not fair, whatever, but I want to stick to something that I got through the Bruzel Club, and that is the Peerless Single Barrel release. That's my second bottle of it, because I was lucky enough to get it in open season when they had a few leftovers. But it is the most cherry cola oak, like just cherry cola for days, and I love that note. I love that cherry cola note. I know that most Peerless has it, but this one is just something just really special about that one single barrel, and I know probably like with categories, like when you're trying to say, okay, well, what's something everybody could get, or I'm just telling you what I like this year. But I know we can do them a little bit differently. But that Peerless single barrel is just off the charts great.
That's awesome. Robert Paul, what's up, Robert?
Hey, Robert.
Thanks for
Hey,
joining.
Robert.
Talking about our favorite pours so far this year. Matthew says the Old Dom cast strength has to be up there in the running for only 54. I know you guys have this. Is it a single barrel, or is it like?
Yeah. So
Okay.
well, it's not a single barrel. So
No, is it their cask? Okay.
So it's Old Dom cast strength, but they do it in batches, and this batch is 6 barrels that were released, and what I think is they were just released kind of the Texas Houston market. But I think that the group that I'm in, the Basement Dwellers, we here in Houston, I think that we bought like 3 or 4 cases out of our group because everybody loves it. It's got a great blueberry lemon zest nose, little vanilla cupcake. It's a really, really great pour. I like it a lot. I think that it could easily be in my top 10. I don't know if I put it in my top 5. But at a blind we had at my house, that Old Dom cast strength won in the high proof category against some really, really, like Stag Junior. I know was in there. I'm trying to remember what all else, but like it beat some real bangers, and so our group has kind of propped that one up here in Houston, and now people, it seems like in Houston, are looking for that bottle wherever they can find it. I saw 2 at Liquor Zone the other day. They still had 2 bottles, but
Man, I want it.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's awesome. I love Old Dom stuff. I was able to join. Before Spillway drove down and stayed in Memphis overnight. And we went to Old Dom. Awesome place. Awesome stuff. Doing great stuff. Someone just got. So we got to fix that long message stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Robert.
Yeah, sorry.
We got to our message.
Our bot
that's
is a little
on
too
us.
aggressive. I forgot to fix that.
We got a strict bot.
I forgot to fix that.
So another one from me, Hack. Jack Daniels. So the Jack 14.
I knew you were gonna say this.
Thank you for the sample. I was not able to find a bottle, or I was, but I'm not going to pay $600 for it. I did think it was great. Like I think MSRP all day. It's one of the best whiskeys of the year, if not the best. But I think also that Jack 12 Batch 3 is close. It's tough for me, and I think I go back. I think 14 wins it slightly, but that just shows how good that Jack 12 Batch 3
I
is.
like that one a lot too. Yeah, and I would tell you too, and again, sticking to things that I know not everyone can find, and so I don't need to be that guy. But this,
There he goes.
yeah, this one right here.
Oh,
my
yeah.
friend Laz that picked this, the group that picked this
So
out of, and this is your buff turkey, right? 133 proof,
Yep.
and it is just so good. And as you can see, I'm starting to make my way through the bottle a little too fast, so I'm gonna have to slow down on that one. But that Buckner's 15 buff turkey, it just has everything you want in a. It's really like George T. Stagg and Russell 15 had a baby. It's just
Yeah,
it's just
that's
got
so-
little elements of both, and it's just so good. It's just so good.
Yeah, you very graciously gave me a sample of that one and I have a couple bottles of buff turkey myself, 5. But and I was able to taste that one, and the proof point on that one. Are you in the 130s there or close?
133.
That's next. That's a next level. I think it may beat all of my buff turkeys, but awesome bottle.
What's another one that's in your top?
So, Old Forester, that 117, the Bottle and Bond Rye, that one that came out this year is so good. It's one of those smaller 117 releases, those bottles that came with 2.
Yeah.
I'm already through one of them, and that I was skeptical with that 100 proof point and the Old Forester Rye. Although I think the regular Old Forester Rye is awesome, this thing it is killer.
Yeah.
It's killer. Did you get to try that? I brought it to Spillway.
I don't know.
It was a long day.
A long day. I don't know. I'll tell you this at Spillway, and I don't think I can put this one on my top 5 because I don't own it, and I probably never will. But if I could put President's Choice in there, I would. Having it this year at Spillway, and then having it in that blind from Tim. Again, thank you, Tim. That was amazing. But that's President's Choice is that's just the stuff of legends, man.
And as Tim are saying, they're releasing the President's Choice Rye this year, which is gonna be nuts.
I
Get
bet
another
Tim gets
bottle.
one. What do you think?
I'll never have. Yeah, Tim's gonna. Yeah,
He'll scoot over. To
we may have to do a Tim blind part 2.
I know. One more, sticking to the single barrels for me is this cigar bar from Peerless. I just love this bottle, and I'm so grateful for you, my friend, for you getting it for me. I guess Matt is gave it up as well, but it's got that tobacco cherry cordial, and the color on it, man. Just look,
so good
color on this thing.
And what are they doing with what is Peerless doing? They cracked the code, man.
They're just
the
getting
single
better and
barrels.
better. I just think Peerless is just getting better and better and better, and they're really close. The only thing is their price points are really pretty high, but they're just
all day.
They're just continuing, but they don't add any water to their stuff, right? So that's one reason for it. But yeah, I've only got one more on my list so far. Do you have one more?
Yeah, you do yours, and then I've got a couple, but I just kind of lump them together as
Okay.
So.
Well, I don't know if I would be friends with Tim anymore unless I put at least one Good Times.
Oh yeah,
on
that's
there.
a good one.
But this. I actually grabbed the wrong bottle, but the one that I like the most is really the blueberry creme brulee. I love how it sets you up with that floral fruity nose, and then it's got that almost like a double oak feel to it, but with like the maple cask in it. It just does everything I like. And I've had numerous people that I've given samples to of that bottle since I've come back that all said the same thing. They said, we really we wanted the stag, the pecan pie rye stag, but once they tried the blueberry maple, they were all like, you know what, I want that one too. So it's just one of those really surprising bottles for me. And what Good Times does, so subtle with their finishes, and just, man, I'm a huge fan of that barrel. But I know that's one I picked.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
It's awesome. No, that's the thing too. I think a lot of people don't know if, some people may be like, what are you talking about subtle on their finishes? Like, they're Good Times. At the same time, they do some crazy stuff, but they also have some real subtle, super like well-crafted. You can do both, right? And they show the wide range of how they can finish. So I agree with you that I think have I had that one, Hack, or no? I don't know if
yeah.
that bottle, was that the one that we hit? Okay.
Yeah, it's one we picked.
Okay, that's the one we picked. Sorry, that was a long day.
5.5, maybe 6 hours at Good Times. That was a long day.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, so, but the one thing I wanted to mention here too is when we talk about, and I'd love for the chat too to kind of hear what they think. There almost needs to be a special category for those things in your bar that you just kind of keep going back to, and you're like, why am I going back to this? Or like, what's going on? Like, I'd love to hear from the chat too. Like, do you have that bottle that may not be in the conversation, right? Or that kills blinds, but that is really going down fast, and you kind of put it in the back of your shelf because you want to save it? You know what that bottle is for me?
What?
Seal Box 20-year American Light Whiskey Hazmat.
Oh, okay.
It is a weird, like, powdered donut fat kid whiskey that this fat kid can't stop drinking.
You gave me a sample of that. I'm gonna have to try that. I know you gave me a sample of it.
And it's, I think the criticism of light whiskey, which, by the way, Josh at Good Time says that's what people use to clean their stills, which is pretty actually funny, and now it's being sold for $200 plus.
The light whiskey, I know.
Some of these barrels, though, once you get to that double-digit aged, like over 15, I know Penelope has their 17-year light whiskey. That over 17, even over 15, and you get in that higher proof, you do get a bit more of complexity to where it's not just powdered sugar maple. Yeah. You get more of that oak and some of that dustiness, and it's a good pour.
Yeah. Do you think it's better than, say, like the Penelope light whiskey?
Don't make me choose. Heck, I don't have the Penelope light whiskey. I think you do.
I brought it to spill.
So, yeah. I'd have to try them side by side. But
yeah.
Okay, here we go. Tim in mint, which one day I'll get that bottle.
Dragon's Milk.
In mint.
Such a cool branding that they do.
He said Dragon's Milk, and then Crittenden Stogie Batch. That is a great pour. That is a great pour too.
Yeah, I've got a Crittenden's pecan pie that I brought back that I want to try against the
Southern pecan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
But all good choices, guys. I mean, I think here's the thing: is like we're halfway through the year. It feels like, to me, it feels like there's more choices than there's ever been before, right? And it's like it's getting harder and harder and harder to be like, okay, because I'm looking at my selection that I've got right now, and it's almost like ADHD on whiskey, and that like I've just got so many different, like it's where I used to kind of really stick to the Buffalo Trace stuff, where I really was really got into the Wild Turkey stuff. Tater. But then also now that I've really kind of expanded to get into some of these smaller distilleries and some of these, like there's so many good whiskeys that are coming out. You can't own them all. You can't. No,
and you shouldn't try, because when you do try, you spend a lot of money, and then you're like, how much money did I spend? And then you have to get another elf, and then your partner is like, what the heck are you doing? And then anyway.
Speaking from
sorry, that's not me. No, I don't know.
Yeah, but those are the ones that I think I've enjoyed the most this year. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is coming out. You got anything that's coming out like that you kind of got your eye on that you want to make sure?
Wild Turkey Single Rick House. The new one coming out. I think that's definitely on the list. I mean, anything Wild Turkey, you name it. I mean, the Wild Turkey 8-year age statement 101, I love. So
Right.
that one is also on like my,
Right.
On my list. So what about you? Anything coming up, Hack?
I guess for me, I've got a few in there that I need to crack. One of them is that Jefferson's Reserve I mentioned. I really want to crack it and try it. I'm just trying to drink some other bottles down before I do that. I'm really, I guess from, just something that, sticking to my tater ways, right? Like Eagle Rare 12, I definitely,
I do.
am looking
Yes.
forward to that one because I think Eagle Rare 10 gets slept on so much. And the bottle that I keep going back to, you talk about that you trying to hide away,
Yeah.
is there was an Eagle Rare Twin Liquor store pick here in the Houston market that is absolutely a banger. Like it's so good, and so yeah, I know that it'll be interesting to see what that 12-year age statement does for that because the 10-year is really good. It's a very good whiskey, and it's something that's just an easy one to go grab.
Are they changing proof point on that? Do we know?
The rumor is they
it
might go
90?
back to the original, like to the 100. So I think
good.
that would make that way more interesting. Now, if they keep it at 90 and they do the 12 years, then you get into a thing like with Elijah Craig 18 where it's too watered down. I don't know, so definitely something that to keep an eye on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, so Mack, it's been a pleasure. I think we should probably get pretty close to wrapping this thing up, ending our weekend. We will not be here next Sunday, but we're trying to find a day, maybe Saturday, maybe Friday. We're trying to find another day. I'm taking my son to summer camp for scouts, so I'll be out start next Sunday. But so we won't be back next Sunday. But again, hey, congratulations again on kicking ass on that blind at Watch Out Proper, my friend. I mean, you destroyed it. Yeah.
You too. I mean, Tater Hack showed his tater ways and showed his expertise.
Yeah, I stayed where I can continue to buy expensive bourbon because I picked the most expensive one. So
and again, shout out to Watch Hill Proper.
Yes.
Check them out.
Yeah.
If you haven't.
Yeah.
Awesome staff.
Yeah.
Awesome place.
Awesome one
food.
of the things I like to say is whiskey should be fun. And Watch Hill Proper makes it fun, man. They really do. Everything that they do, they try to make it fun for the whiskey drinker. And go check them out because they're amazing. One thing I'll close up with, too, is if you got questions or show comments or ideas or you want us to try a certain whiskey or you want to send us like a blind that's got President's Choice and Old Fitz 13 and like a bunch of bangers, reach out to us on our email at hackandmackshow@gmail.com. It'll be at the end of the stream here, and let us know and tell us like, hey, we'd love to you guys to do this on the stream, or we'd love reach out to us on email or those of you that know us in Discord, reach out there too.
Yeah, and Dan Bolta just got slapped on the wrist by our bot. Sorry, Dan, that's not on you. That's on our bot.
I promise to fix the bot. Yeah.
But welcome, Dan. Whatever you said was welcome. Our bot is a little strict.
Yeah.
But so let's just shout out our individual Instagrams too, because we do stuff there, and this is where we're gonna do. But it's Nashville Mack on Instagram.
Yeah.
Bourbon Hack.
Bourbon _ hack. Yeah. Bourbon _ hack. We throw stuff on there. Check us out. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, I guess is what you're supposed to say. We're still trying to figure out how to do this, but I never thought in a million years we'd have 70 something subscribers just a month in. So blown away by the folks that are willing to support us and and just really thank you guys. We're just trying to do something fun, and hopefully make it fun for you too. And so, any ideas you guys have got for us, reach out to us, and have a great week, Mac. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
You too, Hack. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.